and I'm missing quite a bit of the sky. Now here's something to know about this. If I do replace the sky, I also want to replace part of the water, don't I? So that the reflection looks good. So having the water partially selected like it is now, you notice it only partially disappeared, may not be a bad thing. But right now I'm just going to concentrate on the sky. So we're going to undo this. I'm going to go to quick mask mode. Undo the delete, I should say. Polygon lasso. Double click to close the end. Fill it with white. Shift F5. Helps if I hit the right keyboard command. Shift F5. Fill it with white. Select down here. Shift F5. Fill it with black. Deselect. Get out of quick mask mode. Command H to hide the marching ants. And I already see a few things I need to clean up. Everybody see what it's doing to the tree right here? Here, let me zoom in. See, I've got part of the tree selected. So, that's why we do the delete thing, to see what we have selected. Go back here, quick mask mode. I'm going to go right underneath the skyline. Shift F5, fill with black, deselect. Get out of quick mask mode, hide the marching ants, hit delete, and see what disappears. That's a really good selection to replace the sky. And if I hadn't been talking, I could have done it in probably 40 seconds. Beats the crud out of clicking 300 times in the Magic Wand tool, doesn't it? Sometimes Magic Wand tool is a great tool to make a selection. A lot of the time, it's a waste of time. All right. I'm going to come over here to this image. And I'm going to show you one last major technique. And then I'm going to go over most of this again in some variations. And then I'm going to show you your homework tonight. And I'm going to walk you through how to do the entire homework step by step. Tonight's homework, I can't, well, we'll get there. Got lots of things to say about tonight's homework. It's a hard assignment. Do not wait till the last minute to try it. It takes most students 3 or 4 hours. But by the time you're done, you should be able to select anything, which is kind of the point of doing an exercise, isn't it? All right. There is yet another way, and about 50 I haven't covered, to do complex selection. I want to select the sky, and then I want to select something else. I want to select the blue parts of the house. That way, if we change the color of the sky, I can change the reflection of the blue sky on the house so it doesn't look weird. If I change this to an orange sky and left the front of the house blue, it would look unnatural. Little details like that are what make these hacks work. The way I want you to see this is using basically the Magic Wand tool on steroids. Anybody here played with the color range command? The color range command is the Magic Wand Plus. You want to take a break? No? Okay. Somebody needs to take a break, we can take a break now. With nothing selected, that's important, because I'll show you what happens if something is selected. Go to the Select menu and choose Color Range. Here's what you get. We can see the red pixels in the image. Look what happens on screen. If I click OK now, the red pixels will be selected. I can say I want to select the yellow pixels. The grass is partially selected. Or the green pixels. Or the cyan pixels. Or the blues. Or the magentas. None of those give me good selections, do they? I can say I want to choose just the highlights. Just the middle tones. Just the shadows. Or I want to select the colors that are out of gamut. That's actually a really good selection for what we're trying to do. We're trying to select the sky. But I want to show you the other way to use this tool. So I'm going to go back up here to sampled colors. Here's the way it works. Fuzziness is the equivalent of the tolerance on the Magic Wand. The higher the fuzziness, the more colors it's going to select with each click. The lower the tolerance, the less it's going to select. But the neat thing is about using the Magic Wand, the color range command, is after you made your selection, you can turn the tolerance up or down and add to it or subtract from it. Can't do that with the magic wand tool. This is the sample color eyedropper. This is the plus eyedropper for adding to. That should be the default eyedropper, but it's not. Because rarely you're just going to click once and be done. So I'm going to get the plus eyedropper, going to come over here to my image and click. I have no selection preview set up, so nothing happened to the image. Watch this. I wanted to show me a black mat. Notice what happened to the image? What I have selected, you can see. What I don't have selected is matted out in black. It's like using the quick mask mode with the mask set to black. I want to use a white mask. I want to use quick mask. Whatever colors you have set up for quick mask, it uses here. In this case, green. Or instead, I can say grayscale. Or none. But watch up here. Right now, the preview up here shows me what I have selected. Click on image, it doesn't show me what I have selected, and I have no way of knowing what I've got selected now. That's pretty useless. Now, something about the plus eyedropper, it doesn't just work when you click on something. Click, hold the mouse button down, and drag it across a range of colors. Watch this. Start down here with the light blue, click, and I'm going to drag straight up. Same thing over here. If you over-select, turn the fuzziness down. If you really over-select, get the minus eyedropper and click and drag across what you don't want. So far, color range command's not that helpful for this particular image. Some images, it works great. What I want to show you, though, is this. The color range command has an interesting ability that the other selection tools don't. You can pre-select and then select within that selection with color range command. Here's how. I'm going to get my polygon lasso, and I'm going to go around. I'm going to go, the edge of the sign is white, the sky is blue, so I'm going to go right along that edge between the sky and the sign. The rest of it, the color difference is enough that I'm not worried about it. And then I'm going to come up here. So what I have selected is the sky area, see? I need to clean it up a bit. I'm going to add it to, hold down the shift key, clean up that edge just a little bit. Okay, now, here's what this thing does for you. Since I have made a pre-selection, when I use the color range command, it's going to ignore everything down here. It's not selected. It'll only select within my selection. Select color range, plus eyedropper, run it across the blues, clicking and dragging. Hit OK, watch what happens. It ignored the bottom half of the image. Same technique I usually use. I'm going to unlock the background layer, double click on it, call it layer 0. Hit Command H to hide my marching ants. Hit delete, see what disappears. It's not a bad selection, but it needs a little cleanup work. In trees like this, how much to select if you're replacing the sky depends on what you're doing to the sky. If we replace this with a radically different color, like a sunset, which we're going to do, by the way, you're going to want to select more of the blue to hide it, right? If we're going to replace it with another blue sky with clouds, I don't care if I have a little blue edge around the trees, do I? So long as the new blue is not too different from the old blue. But I need to clean up the edges of my selection here, especially over here. Look at that. Took a chunk out of the side of the house, didn't I? So if the color range over-selected, hit Command Z to back up, Command Z, Option Command Z, or go to the History palette. Hopefully you're familiar with how it works. I've got my polygon lasso again, and I'm going to do the color range again, but at a lower setting. Select color range. This one's a hard one to get right in one go. Quite often you'll have to use it several times. So I've got a lower tolerance now. Turn the fuzziness down. Turn it down a little more. Turn it up. turn it down, you'll leave